Okay, it's what is it, June 23rd or something? I'm not sure. Anyway, I told a friend of mine I would videotape my gardens. So I'm walking out the lower level door, and here you go. I've got a bunch of peonies. I got like 30 different peony bushes, all different colors. And there's it used to be a fountain, but I turned it into a plant stand. We got a bunch of Russian sages. They're coming along pretty good. With this hot weather, they're starting to really go. And over here, on the other side, I got some steps I got to go up. Made them out of railroad ties. Got my grandfather's bird bath he bought years and years ago. And this is just a border for where the garden is. The garden is behind that chain link fence. And there's a bunch of peonies in there. All different. As you can see, they're at the end of the rope. And this is a hibiscus, which had it for years, 17 years, and it did fine. 2 years ago it got zapped by the cold and it killed about half the plant, so it's struggling to come back. And I have this other one here, and they cross-pollinate, which is pretty cool, because then they have flowers and the seeds fall on the ground. And I've got hardy hibiscus coming up everywhere, even down there in the cracks of the that's a trumpet vine there, but you see there's guys are coming up everywhere. And they're pretty. They're a lavender color, and this is a double. The one over here I think was a 1.5. And you never know what you're going to get when they cross-pollinate, because then there's another one over there that also got damaged by the cold the other 2 years ago, and it's a white one. And so this one over here, which is an offshoot of the two, also is a white one, and it got damaged from the cold. It didn't kill it though, thank God. And so over here we have horseradish and some rhubarb. We picked the rhubarb. The horseradish and the rhubarb are trying to duke it out, who's going to be supreme. And I think the horseradish are winning. Look at them. I mean, they're like 3.5 feet tall, easy. And inside the chain link fence, I had to use chain link fence. I had a plastic like fence, a deer fence. They just jumped over it and pushed through it. So I said, fine. I put in the chain link, and I've got a row of blackberries on the opposite side that go from end to end. There's about, I don't know, 2, 4, 6, 8 plants. And then I got, well, let's just go inside. These are zucchinis as we come in here, and we got peppers along the one side and tomatoes on the other, and then we have all the blackberries, and we're finally going to have blackberries. They haven't produced at all for 4 years, 3 years, I forget. They produced great for a couple years, and I don't know what happened. They quit producing, and now all of a sudden they're producing. The canes aren't as tall as they used to be, but at least they're producing. So that'll be fun. And there's beans there, and cucumbers there, and then like the tomatoes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tomatoes, and a row of, well, there's dill right there, and there's a few broccoli plants, and some radishes, and a few peppers. So so here's this is a cool honeysuckle plant. It's huge. But the wilderness is taking over. This is a grass. I got to get in there and get rid of the wild grass. It's trying to take over. There's a bunch of iris and lilies in here, and we got all kinds of little daisies. They grow wild in the gravel driveway and stuff. And here's another. Look at all those berries that are on this thing. It's another blackberry. We had some come out. They tunnel under the fence and come up everywhere, and so we just dig them up and transplant them. Over here is a bunch of, we gotta get in there and weed again. A bunch of iris. This is my fire pit, which looks ugly right now, but we built it a couple of years ago with the machine, and it's been a lot of fun. I got some antique park benches here, and I got this one that just fell over the other day. In fact, Pat's out getting the lumber to fix it right now. This one and another one. And here I got some hollyhocks. The deer got these. The deer ate the hell out of this plant, and so I put this little fence around it. It's an ugly fence. You can't see the plants now. I don't know what else to do. So anyway, damned if you do and doomed if you don't, or something, I don't know. Anyway, here's some blackberries, or blueberries. They're dying, they're not doing anything. And some other grasses and stuff. We just got done getting flooded, so all this is all a mess. It's all a mess. The turtles have been planting eggs here, and they plant the eggs in the daytime, and the raccoons come back at night and dig them up and eat them. And life goes on. So I've got some more Russian sages in these whiskey barrels. I had extra ones, so I didn't know what else to do with them. So we're going to walk along the front of the house. We had all these blueberries in front, and they didn't produce, so we decided to just dig them up. Saved about 2 or 3 of them, and moved a bunch of peonies in here, and they're really pretty. Unfortunately, they're not blooming right now. They just got done. These guys are starting, Stelladorals, and they're beautiful. And here's my little arbor. We got that up in Monroe, Michigan about, I don't know, 4 years ago. And I planted these wisteria plants, and it's been an ongoing struggle to get them to survive, but this is their 4th year, and you can see they finally have reached the top of the thing, and they're looking pretty good. And so here we got more peonies. We got some hostas. The deer ate that the other day, but he left me, at least he didn't eat all this time. And over here, we got a little garden with some lilies. There's a hibiscus in it. There's a shoot, I can't remember the name of it. The yellow things that come up first thing in the year. Anyway, the beavers ate it last year, and so we put the chicken wire around it, and so it's coming back. And there's some beautiful iris here and stuff. Some shoot, I can't remember what those yellow things are either. They'll come to me in the middle of the night. I'll wake up and I say, oh yeah, I know what those are. Snow on the mountains back there all over the place. We got them from a guy named Bill and Bonnie Nordstrom, so we just call them the Nordstrom plant. And I got more hostas here. And we got all these rocks from a farmer a few years ago. It's the only thing that's really been successful. The deer can't damage them. So in here is more along the house are more hostas, and over here is a little bit of a jungle. So Forsythia, that was the name of that plant back there, the yellow thing. So, and this is I forget what these are called, but they're basically a creeping Charlie on steroids. And you don't ever want to plant one somewhere you really don't want it to take over, because they will take over, as you can see from here. But they're pretty, and these are variegated. They're like, God, leaves are 1.5 feet across. And there's a Forsythia that last year, before last year, it was like 10 feet tall and 15 feet in diameter, and took up the whole area. And the winter killed it. So we're either going to dig it up and transplant it, or we're going to leave it there and see what it does. Over here, this is like a cherry bush, and I never get any cherries from it because the birds eat them, which is fine. Over here, oh, that's my back deck, or I grill stuff, so I call it the grill deck. And I got a wind anemometer and temperature and barometer and stuff. Here we got all kinds of, this is where the septic system is, so everything grows good here. Oh look, you can see there's some berries in that cherry tree that are turning red. And here we got the white peonies. There's still a few little just there. A bunch of stellodorals, a bird bath. The bee bombs are gonna be coming pretty soon. Some more peonies and a Forsythia. And there's the other bench I'm going to replace the bottom boards on. Back under the, I'm back underneath the red maple. So I got a bunch of hostas in there that we've moved over the years. Got all kinds of sedums. Here's my incubator for peonies, because they come up on the road from seeds and stuff, and I put them in here until they get big enough to move. So there's the house in the back, and there's some more peonies, some iris, and there's a Forsythia that keeps getting killed and it keeps coming back. Real pretty, dark, not purple, but kind of an intermediate dark reddish, violetish color. And these coneflowers are coming along. They'll be blooming soon. And the yuccas are going to bloom. There's a, I forget what that is back there, but it'll be blooming, I hope. And we keep digging up these little spruce trees that just come up naturally, and keep planting them, and they're doing great. And this is a honeysuckle here. I'm so close to it, it's hard to get an idea how big it is. And this is a burning bush here. The deer were eating it. When we moved here, it was nothing. It was like 2 feet tall. And I dug it up, and I don't know, 10 years ago, and changed this whole thing around. Had some dirt brought in and made a berm, moved everything around. So anyway, there's the backyard. Here's a behind the garage, and more creeping Charlies on steroids. Anybody that wants one, you can have all you want. Just bring a shovel. Actually, they're not bad if you just give them a spot where they can be. Here is another vine. That'll come to me what that is sooner or later. Anyway, it's pretty. And this is our herb garden. Okay, I don't know what this stuff is. My wife does. I have no idea. But she comes out here whenever we cook. And she comes out here with her scissors and gets something that works. There's our little elm tree. That was just like 5 or 6 years ago. That was just as big as around as a pencil. And now it's, I don't know, 30 feet tall. And I put a berm in here. It's a little bit of privacy from the road. And I got a Canadian hemlock. Canadian hemlock, yeah, that's, and a Norway spruce alternating, which are, it's a little shady for them, but they're doing okay. They're alive. We got coneflowers here and stellodorals. There's some more stellodorals. And then we have the junkyard stuff. It's projects in progress, which maybe they were a big mistake. Who knows? So, anyway, and here's, I don't know, I can't remember what these are either. They're really pretty right now. They're coming up with all their blooms. And I put all these grasses by that fence this year. Neighbor gave them to me. He knows I'm a sucker. Here's some more. They're already seeding. So anyway, and these are some cool cactuses, and they're starting to bloom. Aren't they pretty? I think so. I gotta get my good camera and take some cool pictures. But here are the raspberries. Some of them are turning red already. We'll see how they do. And here's my machine. It's having trouble adjusting to the light. Anyway, we got ferns going under here. They're hard to see. The camera's having trouble. And the Stibble, we bought the ferns, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago. But they're still alive, so there's hope. So this is it. Hope you enjoyed it. Oh, I know, I said I would I would do a selfie. How do I do a selfie? Is that? Oh, that's it. See, this is my COVID disguise. And I desperately need a haircut. It's another bad hair day. And it's the 60th one in a row. Each one's worse than the last. So I'll see you guys later. Bye now.